Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Last Days of Europe with me, Alpha Pi Omega and Greater Germanic Reich. So I want to start today's episode by addressing some of the comments that you left on my video. I had a bit of time in the morning to answer some of them, but I know that I still have a huge backlog, so if I haven't replied to your comment, I apologize. I will get to it. It's just with the baby recently, this, time is very scarce, and I'd rather record and give you more content than spend time replying to the comments that I'm reading and incorporating and talking about them in the videos anyway. So what I wanted to speak about is the fact that many of you have pointed out that if I want to restart the economy, I need to do this tree which deals with that. And that's what I kind of suspected. The fact is that Germany has just emerged from a civil war, and it would be foolish to think that the recovery wouldn't be necessary, and this is exactly what this is probably dealing with, especially if there are things like aid for the present, mistakes of the past, to all who fought, review the laws, and so on. But many of you have also stressed that I should do it before I do the Krieg im Süden, and for that I have to say I don't agree. The reason is that the war for South Africa might end fairly abruptly, and the second point is that actually we don't have that much to do. There's this, focus that we're doing right now. Sorry, couldn't figure that word out. This focus that we're doing right now, another blitzkrieg, which has 10 days left, and then there's just like old times, which takes 40 days, giving us command power plus 50. And then the next one requires us to be in the process of withdrawing from South African war, which we are not in, and I don't plan to get in. So it is very likely that we are not going to be able to do many more, after which we are of course going to turn to the main tree. There's also one down here that I have ignored completely until now, and it's called the Great Game. This one actually deals with, as it turns out, Norway, interestingly, a northern foothold. Interesting. Krone and Reichsmark. Well, we're gonna look into that closer later on, but again, we're gonna finish these two, then turn our attention to the main tree, and then at a certain point we're gonna jump here and look into it as well. I think that we're actually dealing with the, what's it called, the Fortress of the North at this point? I think so. Yeah, I don't see it here, so it should get better. Furthermore, some of you actually explained a bit more about the mechanics, so now I understand that this clock, or this sort of diagram will not change until we actually get to a plus 500, or actually at this point it should be to 0, considering this would be 0 to minus 500, minus 500 to minus 1000, plus 500. So we're gonna see if we, in about a month, 14 days, 28 days, in about a month, we might take to actually the neutral policy. We're gonna see, or maybe I'll have to go to the plus 500, but I think that should require us to go here. On the other hand, if this turns to here at 0, then we will need to get to plus 500 before we go here. Interesting. Well, we'll see how that works. But thank you for explaining it either way. We're actually doing the vast political promises. Really? Regime stability will decrease by 10. Why? Why would I do that? Okay, let's go with the token political promises next. Because that one is weird. I don't know why I would do the vast political promises. Did I do that by accident? I'm not sure. Another thing that you guys mentioned was information about the Italo-German Great Game. I actually greatly appreciate any suggestions regarding this because it's easy to make some mistakes here. Now, as far as the Italo-German Great Game goes, I'm going to read the description because it kind of explains it in the best way possible. So, Hungary and Romania. Ever since Italy and the Reich split from each other, these nations have been the target of constant diplomatic game of influence, a game that continues to this day. Actually, it always spoke just about Hungary, so I don't know why it mentions Romania here as well, but maybe it deals with both countries and we'll see that later. The Great Game is played in 5 rounds, and the best of 5 wins, not unlike the game Sette e Mezzo. By the way, if anyone is from Italy, I wonder, is this a common game that you guys play? I'd like to hear more. Both the Italian and German diplomats will face a series of decisions or cards in each round. Starting from a random base of diplomatic effort in the ever-shifting game, the goal is to hit diplomatic success, represented by the value of 10, with the Germans represented on the left-hand card and the Italians by the right-hand card. However, the art of diplomacy is a fickle thing. Push too hard and over 10 and the round is lost. If both parties go over or stay below 10, then the higher value wins, and equal effort means a draw. Have the majority of the issues stalemate in the diplomatic battle, and the target might decide that neutrality is the better choice. So we haven't won any rounds, nor have Italians, but as it turns out, we have 8 points and they have 1 at this point, and all of the 3 decisions that we have here would potentially get us over 10. Now, reconnect with old friends would give us 1 to 4 points, so there is a 50% chance that we would go over 10. Fund the arrow cross would give us 2 to 3 points, so there's also 50% chance that we would go over 10. And train the paramilitaries would give us 2 to 4 points, so there's actually a 75% chance that we would go over 10. So at this point, the best choice for us is to not do anything, I think. We'll see how Italians go. And if they get to a 9, then we might have to do something. But until then, I don't think it's a good choice to do anything, because there is a big potential for us that we are going to screw things up for ourselves. Okay, and last but not least, Krieg im Süden. So we have sent our units in there, and I have noticed that there's actually a bunch of American divisions here. There's 5 here, 6, 7, 8, and 6 additional, so 14 American divisions fighting for Union of South Africa. So that's why their armies grew so much. I've actually turned the PGD Operationsgruppe here to HPS Operationsgruppe, and we're gonna change you guys as well if we have enough power and equipment. We do. Okay, so we're gonna change you as well. You go there. And you guys are actually gonna go over here. Now, the comments they spoke about the war told me that I should probably move my units to the west and try to work my magic there. To which I say, that didn't really occur to me. To the west, No, but all irony aside, it is a good idea. There is a big potential here for encirclement, so I'm gonna push that theory, and we're gonna hope to actually do our best here. So you guys will arrive to Lideritz, and we'll see if you can get what you need there. I'm actually gonna go here as well, because we're gonna try to push towards Port Nolov. And you guys, I'd really like to send to here. I don't think I have enough helicopters for you, right? Yeah, I checked, we have only 11 available. So this actually tells me that I should deal with the production here a bit and prioritize the transport. Oh, I'm already doing that, okay. 3.44 per... Yeah, it's the efficiency we really need to work on. Well, we don't need to work on the efficiency, we really need to let the efficiency do what it needs to be done. Okay, let's dismiss that one, because I think we're cool at this point. Yeah, we have a ton of surplus here, so at least we're gonna kill the, debt, if nothing else. What is really important here is, that was also mentioned in the comments, command power and political power are two of our biggest assets. I checked in between episodes and there really isn't much that we can do with that, to be quite honest. Really, there's not much that can be done with it, because whatever I do will not change the modifiers. There's actually one thing that I can do, and that I will very soon, which is to get the next level of the command and coordination technology. But we are quite on time with it, so there was not something like me ignoring that. So the C3I Plus will give us additional 5% modifier here, increasing the daily gain by about 0.2. The Siberian Black League has conquered the Zlatoust Republic in the struggle for the fate of Russia. The merchants traded the rope on which they are now hanged. Oh, Lenin, my day just isn't complete without you showing up at least once. Oh, okay, cool. So you already got... You got all of the equipment, right? Yeah, you got all of the equipment. What you're missing is the manpower. I actually sent you here. Oh, they actually made a breakthrough to Port North. So let's send you there. Oh, and they made a... Okay, they made a breakthrough here as well. Cool. They're doing good without us. Maybe there's no need for our involvement in the end at all. And here, go. But in all seriousness, there is quite a fight going on here. We've already seen that. Diplomatic alert. The West Russian Revolutionary Front has conquered the provisional government of the Russian state in the struggle for the fate of Russia. Pandora's box shall be forever closed. Okay, now we're moving. Now we're moving. If we actually manage to close this... Oh, close. I mean, if we actually manage... Let's see how our units are performing. But my first plan is to actually go to Port North and attack here, while the last two units that are moving will attack in this area, and we'll basically close off these 6 units at Karasburg and eliminate them. That will be a good first step to our involvement in the war. Oh yeah, our units are doing great, and theirs are at the point of breaking, so we are fine. Rinsing out evil. A burst of static filled the screen before cutting to a man clad in black armor, holding a rifle in one hand and a flag in another. Stepping forward, he raised the flag and shoved the old symbol of Germany, or showed the old symbol of Germany, planting it in front of his feet. As he did, he took a step back and glanced at the flag, looking at it with curiosity. Then, curiosity turned into hostility, which turned into laughter. Shaking his head, the man merely gripped his rifle with both hands and pointed at the flag, pulling the trigger. Gunfire erupted, and once he stopped, the camera panned back to the pole as the German flag fell. In cold dead silence, a few seconds passed before another flag was lifted in its place, pure black with the black sun. Ordenstaat Burgund. The camera panned backwards as cruel laughter echoed, again and again. Ruined buildings and city blocks was all that there was to see, covering the entire span of the camera in a smoke and destruction. It continued for almost a dozen seconds before the camera switched yet again. This time it was the clean streets of Germany proper. A young, healthy-looking man, dressed in the colours of the Wehrmacht, was playing with 2 children, happily ruffling their hair and playing short games with them. In the distance, their parents watched, their faces approving, and their smiles bright. As this was going on, a voice began speaking. We must avoid the mistakes of the past that have led to cruelty. Yesterday, blood filled the streets in Germany. Today, peace reigns from our homes to the forests and the mountains. Tomorrow, we shall have an ethical Wehrmacht, one that will be incapable of committing the horrors that Germany was forced to follow in the past. Finally, the soldier bids the parents and their children farewell, and they amicably part ways. Do your part. Make Germany's armed forces a more human place to be. Well, propaganda against Ordenstaat can happen. I don't mind that, but this was a bit weird. Okay, protests are small. It might make sense to go with a large propaganda effort. State of the Reich. Yeah, the vast political promises will come soon and hit us in the face. Okay, so we are now being attacked. With defense of 1030, I don't think we are going to be doing bad. But you guys need to get into port north quickly. Oh, you have full equipment as well. Good, because we need to hold it with 2 divisions, while 2 more are going to move eastwards. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Guys. Why can't you... Okay, now you can. That was weird. So we finished another Blitzkrieg focus. Warfare may have changed since the last time we faced the Americana in battle, but the basic principles are still the same. With good logistics, careful planning, and a large concentration of mobile and armored forces, we can enact a Schwerpunkt in the weak point of the enemy forces, breaking their front and circling their forces without a chance for them to react. Should this tactic fail, then we'll have to rely on our soldiers' inner strength and discipline. Ever since the old days of the Prussian glory, we have prevailed over superior enemies thanks to our superior training and organization. Von Treschow has plans to return the Wehrmacht to full efficiency, and this proxy war is a perfect simulation that will give us precious insights over the needed reforms. So 20 command power, 20 political power gained, increased military training, basic training policy effectiveness, and our military professionalism and societal development will begin to slowly improve. Okay. Now, just like old times. So our units are moving into position. How far are you? Why are you not taking the train? Jesus Christ. Okay, so our units are now... No, actually, let's wait for the allies to come and launch an attack together. The Führer and the Revolutionary. Speer poured through the photos and paper laid out on his desk. This couldn't be right. He didn't even have to read a sentence of the report to know what happened. Incompetent fools. Incompetent fucking bastards who couldn't even hold their own against a bunch of barrel-trained students with guns from World War I. Speer tried to conceal his rage from the outside world. It wasn't working. In front of him, Galen lit a cigar inside the Führer's office. Our one ally at that continent, gone. Overthrown by who exactly? Galen? Speer questioned, putting his papers down. Okay, wait. So now we can attack with you and support with you, which ought to be enough. Yep. Speer questioned, putting his papers down. Che Guevara? I didn't even know he was alive, to be quite honest with you. Here he is, leading a country. Galen leaned forward, folding his sunglasses. The spymaster's eyes were red, with blood veins raining over his eyes, like the branches of a sick, dying oak tree. Sleepless nights and tireless days like Galen experienced had taken a toll on the man. Yet, here he was, the spider always careful to check every last delicate string in his sprawling, colossal web, and he would not tolerate any threat to it. While our ally might be gone, my Führer, Galen coughed, the individuals that kept him in power are not. In hiding, in disguise, or another place entirely, we still have a good window into Paraguay. Whatever you need found out, my Führer, our agents will discover. In fact, I have some very good news for you. Gavin handed Speer a new manual folder. Opening it, there were transcripts and monochrome photos of generals and colonels together. Unforeseen events, the Paraguayan question, mobilization against the Red Menace. It was the first sign of victory, following a string of defeats. Brazil and Argentina would not take this news lying down. They recognized, just as much as he did, the dangers of Guevara's ambitions. South America was fighting back. This is fantastic. I would have hoped that they could have dealt with it before, but no matter. Guevara doesn't stand a chance against them, and I will not stand idly while the fate of the Latin world is being decided. You are dismissed, Director. I have to call Schmidt. What will you say, my Führer? To make sure South America knows where we stand. So Argentina and Brazil gets an event of Tale of Two Generals. So did Paraguay fall? No. It's still statocratic Nazism. It's weird. Maybe the event is timed poorly. Okay, they seem to be retreating here, unfortunately. But it's not entirely something that we can deal with. Okay, what time will they retreat? Oh, okay. So we're not gonna make it. Unfortunately, the encirclement is not gonna happen. But we are winning. That at least is good. Wait, actually, could I hold them in place? No, they were defeated. Okay. This is not, they were defeated. That's why they're withdrawing. Okay, so Karlsburg has fallen to us. Our units are attacking here. And we'll be pushing southwards, actually. Yeah, Karlsburg has fallen. Okay, and yeah, this salient has been... Yeah, there's a... Wow! An offensive across the entire front. This war is going good. This war is going good, at least from what I can see. Ah, okay, so now we can see. Yeah, social outlook is conservative, 1.29 out of 500. And... yeah, we need to get to 500 to get to medium. So what's the regime stability? 65.7. That is not good. So let's hold a speech to get at least that 2.5. Let's check on the Italo-German trade game. Offer favorable trade deals. Yeah, they're working hard at it. Global conflict. I don't think we need to do anything here, to be quite honest. I think we've pretty much already won. So you're moving in there. You can push south. And once we get into this area, we are going to launch an offensive here. We can actually join immediately, and you will get there in time. Yeah, but we're doing... I think that we're gonna win this, and it won't even take too long. It won't even take too long, I tell you. So we'll see how it's gonna work. The West Russian Revolutionary Front declared war on the Principality of Vyatka, and the Vereinigte Ostlandings have defeated the Belarusian Central Council as the battle for the control of Ostland rages on. Oligarchy. Yeah, Reichskommissariat Ostland is the only one that actually is... yeah. So you and you are doing good. And the Reichskommissariat Ukraine is probably gonna win against the Republic of Ukraine, I tell you. Yeah, and you can support this. Okay, just like old times, and we're gonna end with this event. Slightly shorter episode today, but I'm gonna make the second one longer when I can. Feldmarschall von Trasco is quite satisfied with our forces' performance in the conflict. It seems that, after almost 20 years of decadence and neglect, our values such as discipline, meritocracy and organization are slowly returning to the forefront. Despite all the difficulties we might encounter during this strange conflict, we are slowly finding our common cause and camaraderie. Perhaps this war won't go according to our plans and wishes, but this is already a result. Our forces fight together well, seeing each other once again as brothers in arms rather than potential traitors or enemies, and coordination is improving steadily as time passes. This feels just like the old time. So 50 command power, that is amazing, and we are gonna get an event. And in the meantime, we are going to go with... Dang. Let's start with in the halls of Germania. We're going to be getting quite a lot of events every single episode now, because, or events focuses and events, because these are fairly quick. So, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and in the next episode we're going to continue with our push south towards Cape Town, though we might try to do another encirclement here depending on how well we're going to push. At this point it's looking like we're going to start building up well, it's not a salient, basically a new front here, pushing the enemy towards east, which is fine by me. And yeah, generally speaking, we'll just need to see about the Italo-German great game. Yeah, 8-6, god damn it, with a bit of luck they're gonna hit 10. I guess I'll have to do the... well, I guess the arrow cross, 2 to 3 points. Well, what can we do? We'll just have to see. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.